Hi. On this video we want to talk about spiritual traps, false signs of spiritual awakening and the authentic indications. Before start the video, please make sure about subscribe us for be aware of new videos. Trap number 1. Thinking you're good and others are evil. This belief is deeply rooted in most of people as it's a typical program taught in all Western religions. To uproot this belief requires shadow work. You'll know you've undone this limiting belief when you stop judging others and instead see yourself in everyone you meet. Trap number 2. Identifying yourself as a spiritual person. This false identification is universal in both religious and New Age circles. You are neither spiritual or material. You transcend and include them both. Identifying yourself as being spiritual is a sign of a spiritual ego or inflation. Again, shadow work will help you see that you're no different or better than anyone else. Trap number 3. Seeking love and light. Pursuing love and light, or goodness, is another deep-rooted program in religious and New Age teachings that block authentic spiritual development. Acting spiritual creates a persona or social mask that gives others the impression that we are good people. While this persona might elevate status and increase self-esteem, but it does not promote psychological or spiritual growth. In truth, spiritual awakening comes from the opposite direction, where we face the fear, anger, guilt, and grief stored in us since childhood. Coming to terms with these experiences paves the way for authentic spiritual development. Trap number 4. Acting nice. Acting nice and being nice are two different situations. And acting nice and being innocent isn't a spiritual awakening sign but an indication of psychological immaturity. Either seem as you are, or be as you seem. Rumi. You are told by your parents and various institutions like school, religion, etc. to be nice and behave yourselves. And you comply with this demand, to varying degrees, thereby reinforcing the shadow side. If you're acting nice, it's a sure sign that someone is manipulating you. The original manipulator or trickster is usually a parent, but now, it's in you. In contrast, a mature adult acts assertively without seeking the approval of others. So, and spirit show to the true way to the true self. Trap number 5. Secretly believing you're better than others. Perhaps you see a pattern here. All of these traps points to ego inflation. Spiritual awakening grounds us in our humanity, and yet, more often, spirituality becomes another tool for disassociation, judgmentalism, and grandiosity. This trap often occurs when you read a lot of spiritual texts, join a spiritual or religious group, start a spiritual practice, or when you find a spiritual teacher. Specialness is yet another ego game. When you think you've found it, be on high alert. This belief is a symptom of a specific early stage of psychological development, not a spiritual awakening sign. All of these subconscious signs also point to emotional vampirism. Let us introduce our channel for few seconds. If you interested in with these kinds of subjects, please subscribe our channel for new videos. This channel, which we want to enlighten the humanity by transmitting information, may exist just with your support and because of you. Please don't forget to support us and let's give us a thumbs up to help us. Thank you. Trap number 6. Spiritual bypass. Here, we use spiritual ideas and practices to avoid unresolved emotional or psychological wounds. These wounds must be addressed to proceed in our psycho-spiritual development. We often resist this process because addressing these wounds requires going through the discomfort they represent. These wounds are mainly childhood traumas. In fact, virtually every emotional trigger you have in your present environment is likely from your past. As Martin Heidegger puts it, The dreadful has already happened. Perhaps the biggest trap in the spirituality game is called the spiritual bypass. Now that we've looked at some of the false signs of spiritual awakening, let's review some of the authentic indications. Here are 10 signs of spiritual awakening. 1. Your behavior spontaneously begins to change for the better. 2. You're experiencing a deepening of your emotional wellspring. 3. You're slowing down and reflecting on your past to understand the present. 4. Your priorities and values are shifting from material toward spiritual concerns. 5. Your inner world is becoming a primary aspect of your life experience. 6. You're beginning to hold the tension of opposites together within you. 7. You're experiencing a growing sense of okayness and inner freedom. 8. You're willing to be honest with yourself and take responsibility. 9. You're making new lifestyle decisions in alignment with your moral and spiritual values. 10. You're realizing your interconnected nature with all things. We hope that the informations in the video will be beneficial for you. Thank you for being with us. And thank you for watching. We are inseparable parts of an separated whole. We're one, we are the future with you. Please subscribe us and don't forget to support us through your precious like, share and leave a comment below. Until next time, take care of you. Namaste.